Nikki Haley suspends her campaign, refuses to endorse Trump now, but says this. Here it is.
Margaret Thatcher provided some good advice when she said, quote, "Never just follow the crowd. Always make up your own mind." It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support him. And I hope he does that. At its best, politics is about bringing people into your cause, not turning them away. And our conservative cause badly needs more people. This is now his time for choosing. I end my campaign with the same words I began it, from the book of Joshua. I direct them to all Americans, but especially to so many of the women and girls out there who put their faith in our campaign. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for God will be with you wherever you go.
Yep, and according to some Trump supporters, that God is Trump. We've played clips here on the show of people literally praying to Donald Trump. Pulled over in a traffic incident, they pray to Donald Trump. The irony of Nikki Haley is this. Nikki Haley has said Donald Trump is unhinged. Nikki Haley has said he is a divider. And she also said, basically, the man does not have the mental capacity to be president of the United States. Well, naturally, if you believe those things about someone running for president, you will say they should not be president. Kind of like what she says about Joe Biden. But she's coy now. Let's get into it. All right, the former South Carolina governor says she was suspending her campaign after losing all but 2 of this year's nominating contest, further clearing the path for the former president to be the GOP standard bearer for the 3rd consecutive presidential election. Quote, "I said I wanted Americans to have their voices heard. I have done that," Haley said in a speech in Charleston, South Carolina. "I have no regrets. And while I will no longer be a candidate, I will not stop using my voice for the things I believe in." So let's go back to this statement just for a moment. If you really believe that Donald Trump is the horrible presidential candidate, you say, why not run as a third party candidate, Nikki? I mean, that's a viable option to provide an opportunity for those in the party to express their disbelief in Donald Trump. Well, she has something to say. Haley, who was Trump's first ambassador to the United Nations, declined to immediately endorse her former boss, saying, quote, "It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support him. And I hope he does that," she shared. And at its best, politics is about bringing people into your cause, not turning them away. And our conservative cause badly needs more people. Nikki, that's what Trump is doing. That's why he has Senator Tim Scott as the token Negro on the campaign trail. This is about diversity, Nikki, all right? He's already got that memo, especially your buddy who turned his back on you. You got the memo quite early. Quoting Margaret Thatcher, which was interesting, former British prime minister, couldn't find an American leader to quote. Someone Haley considers a role model. She said this about potentially eventually supporting the GOP nominee. Quote, "Never just follow the crowd, always make up your own mind." Haley emphasized that she will continue to advocate for the conservative domestic and foreign policy she supports and cautioned against some of the dangers such as isolationism and a lack of fiscal discipline. And that she sees coming from Washington. Now, she suggested that Congress is, quote, "filled with followers, not leaders," and again, call for term limits, while calling on Americans to turn away from the darkness of hatred and division. Her decision arrived the day after Super Tuesday when she won only Vermont among 15 states that held GOP contest. She also won Washington, D.C., a heavily Democratic jurisdiction on Sunday. Haley gave voice to a significant segment of the GOP that is wary of Trump's candidacy, while also revealing some of his vulnerabilities among moderate to suburban voters. And she did quite well with middle-aged white women. All right, so the reality is, as I said before, when Nikki Haley does not win, she's going to stop talking all of this jazz about Trump being unhinged, about Trump having dementia, about Trump not knowing what he's talking about, and he's unfit to be president. All of that is going to cease as soon as he is the heir apparent. Now, some people cite Super Tuesday as the reason she did this about face. Hell no, it's not Super Tuesday. It was the Super Supreme Court decision that basically said you cannot remove Donald Trump from the presidential ballot, a decision I completely disagree with based on constitutional standards and the enforcement clause. States do have the right to enforce. But I digress. She can't pull out of Super Tuesday immediately after the Supreme Court decision. It's too close. So she pulls out after Super Tuesday, but I do believe the catalyst was in fact the decision. Wosny, thoughts?
Yeah, I think Nikki Haley is out here just playing politics. It's kind of been her nature from the start. Even when she started her campaign, she refused to kind of deal with the person who was so obviously the Republican frontrunner
Right.
for the primary nomination. Like, she just never went at Donald Trump. I'm sure maybe she wanted to be president for sure. I mean, you have to have a certain type of ego to be a politician in the first place. And of course, it doesn't surprise me that somebody like her would think that she would be fit to be president. But I think even her saying that she's not right now endorsing Donald Trump as if he needs it, I think that's just more politics. She's trying to negotiate something nice and cushy for herself, perhaps in Trump's cabinet or something, just like last time, for her endorsement. That's all that means to me. Nikki Haley's not going to come out and say Donald Trump, in good consciousness, I can't come out and endorse Donald Trump. He's unhinged. He's crazy. He's a terrible candidate. Go do it pull the lever for Joe Biden. She's just angling for more stuff, playing politics.
Yeah, I agree. And when I read her comments again, I said, maybe she's going to run for Congress because she decided to cite how unpopular Congress is. And it seemed to be a throwaway statement until you realize this person is very strategic and very political, like you said, dear brother. That may be her next move.